everybody. If you saw my live stream a couple of days ago, you'll know that I hurt my back and I'm having a little bit of trouble with my back, and I'm a lot better. I can lie down and sit up and walk around a bit, but it's kind of a ache kind of all the time. The stabbing pain is gone, but there is an ache, and if I stand up too long it kind of hurts. So we do have a video to do, and I want to see if I don't know if I can do it in one take. I might do it in a couple of takes, so if the video looks a little bit different, it's because I took a break and then came back. I might be able to get it all done in one take though. These have arrived in the mail. I bought them myself. They were an ungodly amount of money, and then I found out from Rich Mitch that I could have bought them in the UK instead of from the actual website, and paying, you know, more money, essentially. I think it cost me about £60 with the postage, which is horrific for samples. That's basically like buying a full bottle of perfume. So, not totally happy about the cost, but, you know, whatever. This is what's inside the bag. It's a little pouch. I don't know how to pronounce this. Les Indemodables, something like that. Apparently they're very good. I've never smelled them. Rich Mitch and Eugene talk about them like they're like that, so I'm trusting that I will not be disappointed, and if I am, then it's your fault. I'm talking to you, Rich and Eugene. So we've got a booklet. My back is already sore. Okay, so in the booklet we see black and white photos of the bottles in French, and presuming there's English. There's a little blurb in French which I can't read, and then yeah, okay, it's all in French. So there's probably maybe an English section. If it's anything like a user manual, you'll get like some pages in French and then some pages in English. I'm presuming it'll be like that. So let's have a look the other way. Ah, here we go. This side's English. I get it. It's the same with like you know, instruction booklet things. Anyway, this part is English. Rose de Jamal. The Rose Absolute has been used in overdosage in this fragrance, which is unique in the contemporary perfumery. The local Nana mint and cedarwood oils have also been included. Maturation period 3 weeks, maceration period 1 week. One is the period of just the oils blending together without alcohol, and then the other one is once the alcohol is added, it rests even longer once the alcohol is in a finished perfume. Okay, so yeah, we'll nice little postcard there. So this is what we're looking at. 2 little pouches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 samples. So I will unpack them and then come back in a minute, and this is going to be first impressions, obviously. Because there's so many, a couple of them that I like the sound of I'll wear on my skin, the rest will be on paper for first impression, and then what I'll do is I will review them slowly over a period of time as full reviews. I might combine a couple of them in one review, like review 2 in 1 kind of thing, where I get, you know, a couple of fragrances in one video. Because single reviews seem to be dying on YouTube, I noticed, whereas a combination of things in a video seems to do a little bit better, so I might combine things. So the first sample is Rose de Jamal, possibly pronouncing things wrong. So the booklet is interesting in that it gives percentage of the particular materials in the perfume. Looking at this, I would presume that it means percentage in the final product, as in the overall perfume with the alcohol in the bottle as a finished thing. This contains 5.5% of the whole entire perfume in the bottle, 5.5% rose, which is quite high. Rose has problems with allergenics like methyl eugenol and things, which makes things difficult, means you can only use a small percentage in a final product, so that's actually quite a decent amount of rose in a finished perfume. So we'll give this a go. It's Rose Absolute from Morocco. Seems to be the main rose oil. I'm going to put this one on skin because I like rose. Ooh, ooh, nice. Very smooth, very smooth. You get a little bit of spice. Let me read the notes again. Pink pepper, cedarwood, lavender, rose is what's listed. It smells very natural. It smells very rounded. It smells well balanced. I'm getting rose, I'm getting spice, I'm getting everything that they say is in there. The lavender's not too much. I think maybe making it a little bit aromatic, a little green kind of touches without being, you know, too much. The first opening note was definitely that beautiful rose note, which was really, really nice. And then the kind of warm, kind of almost, I was trying to say warm, but it's almost cool. Cool spice. Yeah, it's kind of getting more, a little bit more spicy, kind of woody now. Okay, so first impression of Rose de Jamal is good. I like it. I'll probably definitely review that one. And so we'll move on to the next one. This is just a first impression, bear that in mind. At the end, I will go through them again. Vanille Havane is the next one on the booklet, so I'll dig that out now. So reading about Vanille Havane, a journey through the multiple olfactory facets of a premium gourmet grade black vanilla bean, revealing the depths and layers of this complex perfume ingredient. Rum, dried fruit, cocoa, cigar, and dark floral that reverberate an ambery, leathery base. Vanilla infusion, 9.1%, cocoa extract, ultrasound, 3.1%, jasmine from Egypt, 0.2%, maturation time 2 weeks, maceration time 1 week. I thought maturation usually was about a month, but this is 2 weeks with an additional week once the alcohol's added. Okay, so Vanille Havane. I heard good things about this, so I'm going to put this one on skin. I think this is probably the most well-known one from the brand that I've heard about. Oh wow, okay. I get the dried fruits immediately. You do get a little bit of a booziness. There is a little bit of a boozy kind of dried fruit, like Christmas cake thing going on. I'm getting like Christmas pudding where they've just poured brandy on and then set fire to it. And the vanilla's kind of behind that. I don't dislike it, that's quite tasty. It has got gourmandish kind of tastiness to it. Quite sticky. Yeah, sticky rum-soaked raisins in a Christmas pudding set on fire. Surrounded by smoky vanilla. It's a little bit smoky, like smoked, like roasted or toasted vanilla beans. The vanilla's coming through a little bit more now. At the beginning was more like the dried fruit thing was on top. Now you're getting that kind of more full-bodied, almost boozy vanilla. Very good. That's one of the better vanilla fragrances I've tried. I've tried a few pretty good ones. This one is definitely up there in some of the best vanilla fragrances I've tried. Very nice. See how that dries down. That's very good. If you like vanilla, you'd want to get a sample of that. Okay, so we're going to be moving on to testing from a test strip because I'm running out of skin. The next one on the list is Iris Perle. An elegant and delicate perfume with heart notes of French orris, Egyptian violet leaf, Moroccan mimosa, balanced with a fresh ocean breeze, 0.3% orris absolute, mimosa 0.25%, jasmine from India 0.7%, ylang ylang 0.7%, and contains clary sage oil from the Alps. Maturation time 3 weeks. Maceration time 1 week. Kind of, oh, how would I describe that? Like a sea breeze. It's almost like salty sea air. There's no citruses listed, but I get something kind of fresh. Maybe slightly citrusy, fresh, oceany. They wrote ocean breeze on there, and I think that's a very apt kind of description. Slightly clean, musky, kind of oceanic a little bit. Hint of a sweetness. The orris butter thing isn't like, or the maybe it's coming a little bit from the violet leaf. The orris butter is not hitting me in the face at the moment. It's not cosmetic, it doesn't smell like lipstick, it doesn't smell powdery. I like it. I definitely like it. I think it's interesting. It smells uplifting and kind of happy smelling. Oh, I think I'll end up reviewing a few of these. I'm not disappointed so far. I'm actually quite impressed. So, I don't know what else to say. As a top note, we're just literally doing first impressions of top notes here. Maybe the orris kind of will come through more as it dries down. It's a little bit more delicate than the other two. This feels a little bit lighter, a little bit softer, but very pretty. All of them smell completely unisex, which is something I haven't mentioned, but definitely they don't go too masculine, they don't go too feminine, they're right down the middle. They all smell good quality, I can say that. The next one in the book is Musc Sables. I have no idea how you pronounce things. Sables, no idea. Don't expect me to speak French. A kind of olfactory mirage, irradiating, soft and powdery, created without any floral notes. Clearly outstanding in the world of balsamic, musky, oriental perfume. 4.9% green mandarin, 1.1% patchouli oil from Indonesia, ambergris tincture 0.7, orris butter from France 0.7, maturation 2 weeks, maceration 1 week. Considering there's 4.9% green mandarin oil in this from Italy, it's not overly kind of orangey or juicy citrus. You get a little bit, but not like, it's not a big thing. I get a very delicate kind of, yeah, it does smell a little bit floral. It says that, well, orris butter, orris absolute, you know, but possibly doesn't quite smell like orris butter. It's interesting. I don't know really how to describe it. Musky, clean, ozonic is the wrong word. Musky, clean. You get that kind of ethereal, ambergris kind of slight. It must be kind of like more of a fine grade ambergris, like a white ambergris maybe. It's very ethereal, slightly sweet, a little bit waxy. Very nice. I like this. It feels subtle. There's just a hint of a sweetness behind it, which is lovely. And although it doesn't smell like a strong perfume, it smells subtle, soft, delicate. But if I got a waft of that from someone, I'd think, oh wow, what's that? They smell pretty good. I'd wear that. I'll be reviewing this one. I really like that. I don't quite know what to say about it though. Apart from, it's almost like how you'd wish your skin smelled naturally. It's just got this very organic, natural smelling, musky, clean, slightly sweetened. Okay, but subtle. It's not in your face. It's definitely a soft perfume. Maybe, well, I'll see how it goes when I spray it around my neck and review it properly, like how the sillage and projection is. Okay, then the next one is Oriental Velours. A bewitching sensual fragrance for lovers of rare, high-quality fabric. Jasmine from India, 5%. Wow. Green vanilla from Madagascar, 2.5%. Myrrh oil from Somalia, 15%. Special vetiver oil, Heishi, 10%, contains Epicea oil from the Alps. I have no idea what that is. Maturation time 3 weeks, maceration time also 3 weeks. Interesting how they decide how long to do that for, because they're all varied. You can immediately smell the myrrh, very, very obvious. It's a little bit earthy, myrrh dominant, a little bit earthy. Mind you, there's looking at the thing again, there's 10% vetiver in there, which is quite a lot, and so vetiver and myrrh's definitely combining. This is my least favourite so far. There's not much relief from the vanilla, it is quite dry. The jasmine might be coming a little bit more obvious as it goes into the mid. As a top note, I'm getting a massive wallop of myrrh, a little bit earthy. I'm presuming from the vetiver is kind of an earthy, rooty kind of quality. You're getting that mixed together. Very resinous, very balsamic. Ooh. Starting to feel the jasmine. It's just coming through a little bit. I'd imagine the jasmine comes through more in the mid as the myrrh kind of blast kind of tones down. You definitely have to like resinousy, ambery. You're gonna have to like myrrh basically. Not a huge fan of jasmine. It's not my favourite floral. This one's my least favourite. If you like more resinousy kind of things, you might like that one more. Moving on to the next one is called Cuire de Chine, a fresh, elegant and surprising trail paying tribute to suede and leather, a sporty chic outfit for unexpected getaways, with osmanthus, 10% jasmine absolute, 1% osmanthus from China, 1% and mild tobacco from Turkey, 0.2%, contains clary sage oil from the Alps, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. The osmanthus is immediately there. You get that kind of slightly fruity quality, and you do get that kind of suede-ish kind of vibe. It's quite juicy in the opening. The osmanthus is a little juicy in this one. There's just something behind it that's maybe a little bit... My back is getting sore. Oh. There's something behind it that's just maybe a little bit raw, a little bit funk, just a tad, a little bit. That one isn't my cup of tea personally. For a personal taste standpoint, that's not my kind of thing. Yeah, you get this osmanthus, fruity, slightly juicy opening. You get a feeling of the leathery, suedey kind of quality. Maybe even hints of the tobacco. It does have, yeah, when you kind of smell into it, you can kind of feel that kind of more raw kind of tobacco leaf thing going on. Yeah, I think this one you need to spend time with, smell more kind of deeply into it. From a first impression, for a personal taste, that's not my taste personally. It's interesting though. It's got some interesting facets to it. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one. The next one is Fougere Emeraude. Sorry for the pronunciation. A 21st century fougere that displays the sophistication of tailor-made pieces designed by haute couture, best designers. Tuberose 15%. Not a huge fan of tuberose. Lavender 3%. Tonka bean 3%. Mimosa flower 1%, and also contains clary sage. So we'll see how heavy this is on the white floral. That's quite a lot of tuberose. Oh yeah, oh wow. Sorry about the face, I'm not a huge fan of tuberose. Big old fat tuberose there. You get a hint of the lavender. It's got that kind of fresh aromatic kind of quality behind. I mean, the tuberose is in your face, but the lavender's just kind of a hint. But you do get a little bit of it. There's a little bit of a freshness coming through. Mimosa's a nice floral. I like mimosa. It's a little bit sweeter than tuberose. Yeah, this is big old white floral. I mean, you're gonna have to like that kind of floral to enjoy this one. Again, not my personal taste based on the florals, but interesting. I will definitely wear all of these on skin. I think they're worthy of putting on my skin and smelling it through the day. I might not review them all in full, or I might combine reviews together and like do like 2 or 3 in one video. This one, you're going to need to like white floral, specifically tuberose. It's not my personal taste. so we'll carry on. So the next one, we're getting close to the end, Chypre Azural, the essential piece in the everyday wardrobe, an extra fresh trail, citrusy and long-lasting that will accompany you throughout the day like a second skin. Tarocco orange oil from Sicily, 10%. Rose Absolute from Egypt, 1%. Patchouli from Indonesia, 5%. Ambergris Infusion, 2%. And contains tarragon oil from the Alps. Maturation 2 weeks, maceration 1 week. Whew, that's a fresh opening. It's slightly bitter, slightly green citrus. Almost like the rind. I would say it's like zesty kind of rind. Do you know when you're peeling an orange and you're kind of like ripping the rind off? And you're kind of getting squirt a little bit with the zesty stuff. It's like raw, bitter, slightly green. Yeah, it's got this kind of bitter, kind of green quality to it. Interesting. It's fresh. It's very, like I say, bitter citrus leaning at the moment as a top note. So as it dries down, there's patchouli, there's ambergris, there's herbs, there's rose. I think that'll take a while to settle, judging from this. So that'll be one that I'll go back to later. Okay, so the last one is Ambre Supreme. Ambergris, the near mythical aged and oxidized exudate from a sperm whale, is one of the most prized ingredients in perfumery due to its rarity and cost. Ambergris, or grey amber, is synthetic in 99% of perfumes that list it as an ingredient. In Ambre Supreme, the natural version, specially sourced and tinctured using our proprietary ultrasound extraction, is used in a 10% dosage, which is big, putting a spotlight on this precious ingredient with a unique ability to amplify and unify other notes in a composition. All of ambergris' intriguing facets are on display, from the ambery animalic to the mineral and marine-like and salty, adding what perfumer Antoine Lee describes as sheen, a patina, and a feeling to the fragrance. So, yeah, there you go. Maturation 1 week, maceration 3 weeks. So we'll give the last one a spray. I heard good things from this. So the sample sprayers are very good. That's something I'll say, because a lot of samples, including my own from my own brand, are not great. These are very good. Kind of thicker than some as well. You can smell the ambergris tincture. You can smell the musky kind of. Again, ambergris has different facets. I mean, they've labelled it perfectly on that description, so there's nothing much I can add. There's like minerally kind of salty, watery aspects to it. There's ethereal, musky kind of sweet aspects to it. And as they also mentioned, it's an incredible blender. It kind of merges and blends things very harmoniously and roundedly, and I use it a lot in my own perfume because of that, and it also helps longevity. It's an incredible fixative when you use the natural. There's just a hint of a sweetness behind it. That'll be one I want to wear on skin. I think I'll wear this on skin. Ambergris blossoms more with the body temperature. You need smelling it on paper's a bit. Yeah. The heat of your body and the skin chemistry really makes the ambergris kind of come out more. But yeah, it smells good quality. You can tell it's decent ambergris. It's not cheap ambergris. It's good quality. Obviously, I buy raw ambergris myself. I've smelled different grades of ambergris. This smells good. It smells very good. Okay, so this is just a very casual, quick kind of first impression. The first one I smelled was the rose. That beautiful kind of rosy opening has kind of disappeared. It's a little bit darker, a little bit more woody. There was cedar wood in here. You're starting to get a little bit more of that. There is kind of a musky kind of quality to this one. Not quite as rosy as I would like it. Like I say, it's getting a little bit more woody, a little bit more cedar woody. The rose is kind of, it's still there, but it's kind of slightly behind the woodiness now. The wood is kind of taking more of the stage, and the rose is like more nuanced behind it. Still has an effervescent quality. The pink pepper is kind of toned right back, just little bits of it left. Not bad, not bad. The next one was Vanille Havane, which was on this hand. This one is a little bit smoky, a little bit balsamic, smoky. I'm trying to decide whether it's just a hint of animalic in there. There's just something that's a little bit raw to it. But there's definitely this kind of smoked, almost cooked vanilla. A little bit kind of dark, syrupy. There is cacao or cocoa in here, which is interesting. Doesn't come across like overly chocolatey, but I think it's definitely adding to this kind of dark, kind of more smouldering, kind of smoky kind of texture or feeling to it. Part of that is probably coming from that, as well as the vanilla. Interesting. There's a few decent vanilla fragrances that I could think of from the top of my head, but that's within the top 10 of them for sure. Okay, so we'll move on and just do a quick run over of the ones that we smelled previously and just kind of give a quick overview again. So the next one was Iris Pearl. Not much has changed. It's got that fresh kind of salty ocean marine kind of vibe thing. Subtle, clean, bright. The violet leaf is definitely there. I don't mind that one. I'm not sure I love it, but I don't mind it. I'll wear it on my skin, see how it goes. It's pleasant, it's completely unisex. That would be a good kind of springtime fragrance. The women might like it a little bit more than the men in general, but it's definitely unisex. The next one was Musc Sables, no idea how you pronounce it, I apologise. Possibly my nose is getting overwhelmed by the strength of this Vanille Havane, but I can't smell it much anymore. It was quite delicate when I first sprayed it. Oh no, I'm starting to get it now. Slightly creamy, like moisturising cream. Yeah, it's going a little bit in the kind of what I associate in my brain as moisturising cream kind of smell. Lotion-like, creamy-like, clean. Also a little bit like baby powder. There's something kind of baby quality to it, like nappies and baby powder and creams, and it's got that kind of thing happening at the moment. Possibly I'm influenced by my nose being a little bit overwhelmed smelling all of them, you know, within a short time. One fascinating thing about perfumery, which maybe some people don't realise, but when you smell... Okay, let's say you smell a perfume that has a lot of... Oh, my back. Hold on. Oh, let's say you smell a perfume that has a lot of... I don't know, jasmine in it. And then you smell another perfume that has other notes but also contains a bit of jasmine. You can have the experience of not smelling the jasmine in the second fragrance because your nose has been overwhelmed with the first one, and so when you smell the second one, you smell the perfume essentially without the jasmine, if that makes sense. It's a very confusing experience. I've had it myself directly, and you kind of your brain basically screens out one of the notes in the fragrance because it's kind of, it just does. I don't know why. And so when I'm smelling Iris Pearl and then immediately smelling the musk next, they both contain Oris Absolute, for example, and so yeah, sometimes that does have an effect when you smell one and then you smell the other. Your brain doesn't register some of the notes on the second one. So you got to smell it when your palate is clean, so to speak, when your nose isn't, and your brain and your mind hasn't been infused with something previously. This will be one that I'll go back to. I think this was my favourite top note, I think this is the one that I said I would wear. As it dries down, maybe not. I'm not... That baby thing is definitely... yeah. I love the top notes, but it's drying down into something that I probably wouldn't wear. Okay, so we'll move on. The next one was Oriental Velours. Yeah, I didn't like this one as much. This is still heavy on the myrrh, the vetiver, the jasmine's coming through more now. It's resinous-y, but it's kind of earthy and raw at the same time. Not my cup of tea, personally. The next one, Cuire de Chine. Nothing has changed. Osmanthus, suede. Yeah, I wouldn't wear that one personally. You'd have to be a fan of Osmanthus for sure. Fougere Emeraude. This is the big old tuberose, and this one isn't for me. I'm not a huge fan of white florals. This is big, huge white floral, and my back is killing me. I'm gonna have to lie down soon. We've got 2 more to go. The next one, Chypre Azural. Nothing has changed. That kind of bitter green citrus thing is still like woof in your face. It's exactly that, peeling like a very bitter kind of orange, but there's kind of green leafy stems to it. That's not my kind of thing personally. Okay, so that's it. That's the first impressions. I'm gonna do the ambergris one on skin properly, and we'll do a review of that one for sure. My favourites, probably, in terms of top notes, Rose de Jamal was great. Dry downs, I don't know, could be a little bit more interesting as it dries down. Vanille Havane, very good vanilla, and Musc Sables is a good one. Apart from, I'm not quite sure about the baby thing as it dries down, but we'll see how that goes on skin. Yeah, that's it. That's my first impressions. If you've got a favourite from the brand, let me know. I will, like I say, pull ones out for full reviews, wearing them on skins, and talk about them more in depth later. But this is just very casual, so you can see my first impressions. So I'm quite happy I got the sample set, even though they were very expensive. They all smell good quality, so I'll see you soon. I'm excited to test some of these out. Take care, everyone. I'm gonna go lie down now because my back hurts. Bye-bye. Take care.
One time he disappeared for 2 or 3 days. When he came back, they asked him where he'd been, and he said, "Oh, just sailing."